morning and welcome to Mrs. Bell's Sweet Treats and More. This is my YouTube channel. Today is Monday and this is Monday Moments. It's good to be with you again today. I'm listening to the birds. They are out there chirping and they get up a little bit too early, but it's okay because they are doing their thing. Today we're going to do our thing and we're going to cook we're going to bake a coffee cake. This is one Victoria and I started a few weeks back while she was here. It was a wonderful time to be with her. And we ended up eating it up, you know, that's just how it works. So today I'm going to make it and I want you to join in. First, I have my gloves on. Of course, I wash my hands. And I am way distant from relatives, as many of you may be as well. Some of you may be close and not feeling that either. But during this difficult time, let's do our thing in our moment. I've already measured my ingredients. I put together my flour, baking powder, salt, and granulated sugar in my bowl. And I sifted them together, but I'm doing a little bit of a stir. And to this mixture, and of course the recipe will be below for you to click on. To this, I'm adding my eggs. And I often mix my vanilla with my eggs. When I buy my eggs, this was before the pandemic, I'd like to wash my eggs, rinse my eggs off. I just made some more miniature banana breads, and we talked about this some months ago about rinsing our fruit, washing our fruit and vegetables when we buy them. And it seems to be this is such a time that we need to adhere to that. So I'm adding my eggs and vanilla, which I mixed together. And I'm going to stir those together. And I'm going to slowly add some milk. I use A2 milk. You can use 2% whole milk. Don't, you don't have to get stuck with what I use. Regular milk. I haven't tried the almond milk. Some of those are already sweet, so I haven't had the opportunity to bake with them yet, but you may want to try it. And so I'm adding my milk a little bit at a time, and I'm just stirring it together. And I want to say hello to those who have been following me for a little bit. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy baking. And I enjoy crafting. I haven't been able to craft as much as I wanted to, but that time is coming up. So I continue adding it until I get my milk into my flour. And I want to just stir a little bit. I don't want to do a lot of whipping because we didn't use our beater. We're not using our beater. We're using our us. So we have all been hearing about the news about what's going on in our lives, and we didn't have a minute to get it going. We just got right in the middle of it. And I want to encourage you. As I'm stirring this, I want to mention my husband and I sometimes talk about we talk about a lot of things, but as I was thinking this week, one of the things that he encouraged me to do, and he had heard this from someone else, what I want to do is add my butter last. So that's why I want to take, and my butter is melted, and I'm pouring it in. There's just nothing like melted butter for me. You can, so I'm putting that aside. And so I'm stirring this in now. One of the things we were talking about was the news and the amount of information that we're getting. Some may be contradictory. Some of it is the same. One of the things that we have begun doing, and he had heard this from someone else, was to listen to the news on one station listen to it one time a day. We pick the time, and we don't turn the channel to hear if somebody else has a better view. We just listen to the news on one channel. You may not want to do that. I'm just telling you some of the things that have helped us. And when I listen to the news, I choose the channel that I feel is more newsworthy. We have a lot. I love the different venues we have, the Facebooks, and that's so wonderful, these social platforms. When I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about real news. And you may choose the platform. It's up to you. But if I'm listening to something using my time, I want to listen to something that's going to be that is going to be useful information, and not hear it rehearsed over and over and over and over and over. Oh. So I've mixed together my batter, and I've already got my pan ready. It's a 9 by 13, and it's already, I've used the spray. You can use butter and flour, which I really wanted to use, but I really was feeling kind of lazy today. So I'm going to pour my batter in. The other thing is, when I listen to the news, I want to make sure that I'm in the moment, that I'm not using it as background noise. You may use it as background noise. I'm not downing anybody for that. That's not why I'm mentioning that. But the importance of what I'm listening to, I don't want to be going to sleep with it. I don't want to be waking up with it. I don't want to be it as my background noise. I remember when I was younger, and I was going through a lot of different things, and I remember going through a period of feeling very, for lack of a better word, kind of trying to find my way. And I would be in the house by myself, and I would put the radio on or the television on for background noise. Now, I'm not downing any background noise, but the news, you may not want that to be your background noise, because words that go out go in. If you hear it over and over again, for some people, it becomes truth, even if it's not. And some of us have already had a lot of things spoken to us, in us, around us about ourselves, and we really don't need to be hearing anything over and over and over, contrary to what we're already believing in our own lives. So here is my coffee cake, the cake itself. Now I'm going to make the other part, and I think I have. So I have butter. I have my butter, my brown sugar. I have cinnamon, and I have a little bit of flour. So my butter is slightly, it's softened. It is not liquid. The cake part has liquid. I melted my butter for the cake portion. And the other thing, what we do is to take the time not to talk about the coronavirus and what's going on and what. My husband works in healthcare, and for the healthcare workers, my heart goes out. I believe that every person is important, that we all have value. And one of my favorite hashtags of mine is extra and every ordinary. We used to go to the doctor, it was an ordinary appointment. We used to go to, for most people, we used to go to the library. It was ordinary. It was always open. We lived in that world of always, and we just, I always went here and I always went there. And if I was bored, I could do that. I could go for a walk. It was nothing that I had to struggle trying to, that I ever thought about being not ordinary. Every day was ordinary, pretty much. I thought, It was, you know, it's time to go here, time to go there. If you went for the bus, the only reason why you didn't get the bus was because you were late or the bus was early or it broke down. But it wasn't because the bus wasn't there. If it was late, I was on my phone just, what in the world? That bus needs to get here. Now I can look at the phone all I want. I can say all I want. So everyone is an extraordinary person. And during this time, I have found it more than ever the importance of every single person. I enjoy my cleaning lady. I love getting my nails done. It's good to have these on because the nails ain't where they were. My hair, just things that the teacher taking care of my grandkids, a lot of things. So, extra and every ordinary, you are the extra. In front of you is everything that you need to take care of you and others today. So I've mixed this up. And now I'm going to, this is my butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of flour. So I'm going to add this. And I'm going to use, do some pinching here. I'm going to try to be nice about this. So I'm going to put this on here. And as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about how we are separated. We are not able to be with one another today. We are just dealing with us, and we may have our families, but things are just so difficult for many people in being by themselves. But I want to encourage you and encourage the teachers and encourage everybody that the waiter, the restaurants being open. We had a myriad of restaurants. We could go anywhere we wanted, whenever we wanted, however many times we wanted. And you could walk to the restaurant, drive to the restaurant. That's not so anymore for right now. But I don't want you to, I want to encourage you. This will pass, but the time is still your minutes. What is it that I ask myself, what do I need to learn? What is it that I'm needing to get together? Some people don't have as many resources as someone else. So as I'm putting this together, I ran out of light brown sugar, which is for this recipe. And as I ran out of it, I had plenty of dark brown sugar because for baked beans and some other recipes. But I went to the store several times and I was out of it. I'm like, what in the heck? So what I did was, of course, we Google. We live in this world of can find something online. But what I found during this time, I found a way is one-on-one, brown sugar, dark brown sugar added to regular granulated sugar will give you that light brown that you need for your recipe, which I did. But the other thing I found that Google can't answer all my difficulties. It's a very difficult time for some people more than others. Some people like being alone. Some people like not having, being away from this. Some people needed a break from work, but they're the other aspects of being by yourself. And I want to encourage you as I'm making this, I could have stopped making my my coffee cake. I could have stopped because I didn't have this or I didn't have that. We have to not only improvise, but diversify. Oh boy, this smells so good. I think cinnamon has this warming smell. So the cake by itself would be a nice cake. So here is the you by yourself. You will be fine. You're going to be okay. But when you start adding things to it, Butter added to a lot of things make a lot of things better, but I'm kind of getting off point. When you add different goodies, different things to who you are. Maybe you wanted to write a book. Maybe you wanted to work on a new job. Maybe you wanted to become a consultant. Maybe you had an idea for baking. Maybe you have an idea for taking care of children. Maybe your idea was what to do in downtime. Maybe you're a nurse or a doctor or a phlebotomist or a lab person or a grocer, a grocery worker. You may be an Uber driver or someone that does public service for others. You may work in nursing homes. You may have ideas that you never thought you could get off the ground. Why not take this time and delve into it? I'm not saying that life is going to be easy because you do that, but this is your time. This is all we have. We hear this a lot. We're in this together. We are. There's some people who have more resources, but everybody's affected by it. I was talking to my husband, a lot of that, and some other people, and I said, you know, when we're removed from a place, it's important for us to, I think when we look back at certain places, we need to recognize that sometimes we thought things didn't work without us, you know? Or if I wasn't there, this and that. And I've heard, and before this even occurred, I told my husband, if ever we are away from somewhere for long, the creatures around us begin to find that space vacant, and they will enjoy it. So I was just reading an article the other day, and they were talking about different creatures back in the places where we thought we dominated. I'm not saying that to make fearful. I'm saying that to say this. Sometimes we thought we were everything that we did. We were so important. We were all of that, and that's wonderful. But while we're away, we realized, you know, the sun did not rise and set on me, and the world is going to continue moving. So what am I saying? The creatures came back because they were already there. That we just made them not evident because we took over the space. What space do you need to take over? Your space of who you are. You're an amazing creature. You are amazing. And you have right in front of you the extra that somebody else needs. Somebody needs a call. Somebody needs an encouraging word. And sometimes somebody needs the business that you have not done. The book you have not written. The story of your life that you have not shared with anyone. Somebody needs that. And you're the extra. And you're the only one that is the extra. Here is my coffee cake. I'm going to pop in the oven. We're going to make the topping for it. And I'll be back with you in a moment. Well, welcome back. Well, our coffee cake is ready. I took it out the oven. It's already cooled off. And I did a little swirly. And now I'm going to just top it. I have confectioner's sugar. And of course, the recipe is below. With a teaspoon of vanilla. And I added milk, enough milk to stir. I added a little less than 1/4 of a cup, but you might want to measure a little at a time. Confectioner's sugar is funny like that. So I'm just going to take it and drizzle it over the top of my coffee cake. This is a time of, I know for me, I enjoy baking and I find it to be relaxing, but baking can also, I used to tell people, baking takes courage. I started off baking, following recipes, and that worked for me for a long time. And I started launching out because I saw some certain recipes. There were ingredients I didn't like or wasn't familiar with, or ingredients that I would never use again. You know, some things I may not use again, and I didn't want it to go bad. So what I started doing was launching out, but it took me a while to do that. It takes courage to do something different. Whether it's cooking, going to school, reconnecting with your children, reconnecting with your own dreams, who you are, what it is you want. Uh-oh, my finger went down there. But it's well worth it. I have enjoyed the cooking, the things I've discovered. Sometimes I thought when I was preparing something, oh, I think I'll do this with that. And I start, like I make a blimini, which is an orange, which is a lemon type brownie. It's all lemon with pecans. And then I said, well, if I could do a blimini, which is what I named it, wonder what I could do if I had an orange. And then we made orangey. So then I took a lemon cake that I make, and I took that lemon cake and I followed the same ingredients for my pineapple cake, except no lemon. I added pineapple juice and pineapple. So I started doing something, taking what I already had and building on it. Now, sometimes I would cook and it didn't come out right. Yeah. I know. Sometimes it doesn't come out right. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't come out the pan. Sometimes it doesn't taste right, whatever it is. But it was my opportunity to invent, for lack of a better word. So here's my coffee cake. I topped it. Now you can drizzle it on. I actually like the glaze that comes with it. So I'm going to cut this and let you see. I'm not a professional cutter, but I'm going to cut this, and I want you to see what the inside looks like. I hope this comes out properly. It would help if it came out properly. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. It's got kind of a crunchy edge. And it's kind of falling apart. It's falling apart on me here. So I'm gonna take it and let you see. Oh my goodness. It's falling apart, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Here's a slice. And it's still warm. I'm going to take the side that has that is good stuff. You can taste the butter, the brown sugar, and the cinnamon. You can certainly not put the top on it, that's fine. But I think you should enjoy it. I thank you for your time. I look forward to us getting together again. You have a good one. Wash your hands and do you. You extraordinary person. Talk soon. Bye-bye.